What do you think this is? It's the usual. Lemon water. Well, today I decided to shrink the background a bit because the wider angle is too heavy for the quality of Wi-Fi that is delivered to my router. So I have to go with a lighter model. All this technical stuff. It makes your brain smile. You know, when you have things that you can feed your mind with, try to figure stuff out, get down to the bottom of things, investigate, do your research, a lot of reading. Get your copy today. It's good for the mindset. It's good for the mind, you know. You feed the mind. You don't feed the mind when you are scrolling 30 seconds, 15 seconds, 1 minute videos on TikTok for something to get a little hype. Then it's gone. You got to search for another one. You constantly. That does nothing to your mind. As a matter of fact, what it does, it slows down your emotions. It slows down your mind, your brain power, and it causes your brain to recede. You get stupider, dumber. That's what music does. Let me give you a tip about the music thing. Initially, historically, on all cultures, music and instruments, the purpose of it was not to stimulate people's emotions for the purpose of excitement. That was not the purpose of music. The purpose of music was to hypnotize the physical part of you, to put you in a state of hypnosis, like get you drowsy, you're sleepy, you're so incapable of moving that you're under some kind of hypnosis, some kind of spell. And the purpose for that was so that whatever they were doing, which is usually associated with rituals, spiritual things, that entity can easier take possession of your body. Because your mind is your defense. Whatever you see, whatever you smell, whatever you touch, whatever you taste, that transmits signals to your brain, and your brain now interprets that for you. As sweet, sour, hot, cold, your brain does that. Music in the time when it was developed, like I said before, the purpose was to stop your brain, put you in a state of trance so that you can be easily possessed by whatever spirit they were invoking at the time. Consider modern day music throughout history. Why do you think they use the weapon of music post-colonial era and they commercialize it? They make it into a hype, entertainment, social stuff. Why do you think they do that? And most of the persons, the generation that is more than often hooked on music, look at their actions. Music carry codes, subliminal messages. You can wire people's mind, you can program their mind via music. Look at the generation post hip hop, rock, R&B, rap, dance hall. Look at the generation now that are hooked. Everything is whatever music they listen to. When they're driving and they have the loud music on, they are more likely to cause an accident or to kill themselves. Whenever they are consuming alcohol or heavy substance, They are more likely to be listening to music in the process while they're doing that. Men usually capture women's attention by alcohol and music. And how they do that? When you are exposed to certain kinds of music, has a lot to do with the tempo, the rhythm, your brain reacts accordingly. Your body language reacts accordingly. Because what it does, music in general slows your mind. It slows your brain. It hypnotizes you so that whatever the music is invoking can easily take possession of your body and your mind. After music, look at how women behave, girls behave, boys behave, men behave. It's through music. The culture of music has turned the generation today into shitheads, dunderheads, a bunch of duns, criminals, murderers. Music. Then there are the different kinds of music, like the ballet, the opera, the orchestra, those kinds of music. Those music, the Indian music, back in the day with Amitabh Bachchan, these Indian orchestra, this European orchestra, those music are healthy for your brain. Those music stimulates your mind. It don't put you to sleep. It activates your mind. That's why you find the geniuses of our world, they go to the opera. They go to these concert halls to listen to those kinds of music because it helps. And the music that the blacks get, look who sings it. Criminals, thugs, thieves, vagabonds, monkeys, scrappos, school dropouts, dunderheads. They're singing music that you want your child that you are investing in to go to school, to complete and finish your education. You want your smart child listening to Jamaican singers singing music. What do you think will happen? Your smart child will become stupid, dunce, dumb nung. That is what will happen to your smart child. Beethoven is the best way. Welcome to Uncensored Guyana. I'm Dr. L. Prasad. Instead of listening to music, read. You can never go wrong with reading. No matter how you try to avoid it, it has become the new way. And very soon it will become the new normal. If the government of Guyana don't clamp down on this nonsense, it will become the new normal. Even after Azruddin Mohammed is gone, bye-bye, the others who have seen how he got his way and got away with his style of attacking President Ali, they're going to try the same thing and it's going to continue on that path. It's going to become the normal. Never in Guyana's history, the violent past of Guyana, the terrible governments of the PNC, you have never seen opposition stoop this low. They always had some dignity about them, pride, So the people who follow them understood that even though their guys were not in power, they were comforted to the fact that they held a certain standard, But what you have today in the person of a criminal mastermind, fugitive offender, awaiting extradition to the United States, what you have in that individual is a clown, a lunatic, a vagabond, a dunce. That's what you have in that individual. An embarrassment to the black people that he claimed to represent. Well, he's no longer representing the blacks because they called him out for his racism. They saw how he went overboard for the Indian nationals, the migrants, who had nothing to do with them or their votes or their politics. And they saw how the opposition leader that they supposed that should be representing them, the blacks, they saw the real side of the man. And more, they're turning their attention to the People's Progressive Party. There is no other option. I've been saying it forever. You don't have a choice. You want to have some semblance of pride. You made a mistake in 2025. You voted for a criminal. You thought that, okay, people change, but no. Even after 40 years in prison, Mohammed would not change. People are setting their ways as they get older. If that thing that they do is their comfort, and they realize that they bring out their best self based on a certain lifestyle or personality type, you think they'll change as they get older? No, it works for them. Mohammed would not change as a criminal. It works for him. Did his father change? Of course not. And his father has been doing criminal activities for a long time. He was born a criminal. This is why he could have produced, his sperm could have produced his clone, Azruddin. Look at what that man has reduced the opposition idea to. Look at what he has reduced it to. The fact that he has a lot of followers and people continue to spread his propaganda and share his propaganda, a lot of you are not immune to that. You cannot avoid it. You have no protection against the bullshit that comes from Azruddin Mohammed. The man's appearance has deteriorated. What happened to the fine dress? What happened to the nice, elegant suits and elegant shirts and clean cut? What happened to all of that? What happened to the presentation? Was it only to get boys? Was he just trying to embrace a homosexual identity because that's what homosexuals do? They try to be as clean as possible to attract men. What happened to all of that? The man became a politician and he became rusty, nasty, worse than them thugs in Tiger Bay. And Sophia, and La Penitence. He's worse than them. Look at how the man conducts himself now. That's your opposition leader. He is opposed to decency. The only opposition that Mohammed is opposition is to decency, common sense, law and order, right. That's what he's opposed to. The total opposite to everything that is normal and decent and truthful, he is against it. So he presents himself to you, his so-called constituents, as trash. That's it. But he wants people to be sympathetic with him now because seeing him appear a certain way would say, oh my gosh, they're pressuring this guy. He can't afford to go to the barber shop. He can't shave. He can't change his outfit. You know, look at how he moves around like a lowlife with his sister. Didn't I tell you, speaking of sister, didn't I tell you that she's going to take over Win? Don't worry about Tabitha Haley. Come on, man. She now seemed to have a crush on black people. Now she seemed to have a crush on black people. I'm the one who's exposing everybody now. Not like Azruddin. I'm doing it the right way. Now all of these so-called black leaders want their voices heard. Now they're talking like, oh, they want the best for Negroes. But the only thing they do is they support the idea that the PPP is against black people without any evidence. So now they're coming out and talking about Afro-Guyanese this and Afro-Guyanese that. The best thing, Tabitha Haley, you can do for Afro-Guyanese who made your boss opposition leader and who made you chief whip for the opposition in the parliament, the best thing you can do for them is to buy a copy. Matter of fact, not just one copy. Buy tell your boss to order maybe 20,000 copies of this and distribute it to all them dunderheads that follow him. Let them read it. Give them as a gift. This is the alternative to the problems that you seem to now embracing. Buy a book, Black Plague, I Come in the Name of Hate. Donate it. Then you make sense. Yes, I have to call them down the heads because why can't they call him out for the stupid things he's doing? No, because of money, right? They're silenced because of money. And let me digress here. Talk about money. There was a Caribbean page. I know it's not Guyanese run. It's not Guyanese. It's run out of one of the islands, maybe Trinidad, one of the islands, on Facebook. They had no connection whatsoever with, from what I knew, with Guyanese or Guyanese politics. But that page only feature Mohammed's post, any post associated with Mohammed positively. The entire feed of this page, and they have a few thousand people, they have a lot of people, a lot of followers. It's just Mohammed. I am continuing to castrate myself with this question. How the heck did this man get to those people? I mean, Mohammed is sponsoring and buying over pages that has nothing to do with Guyana. Nothing. Because he's spreading his propaganda in the diaspora, Latin America and the Caribbean. He ain't concerned about results in Guyana. He wants to captivate global support. He wants the diaspora who may be following Guyana's activity, but not necessarily have anything to do with Guyana. He wants them to extend sympathy for him so that the Caribbean Court of Justice, those judges who may be reading papers from Trinidad or whatever country they are from, they keep seeing Mohammed in the headlines, in papers and magazines from their respective countries. It will influence their judgment to some extent. Say, hey, this guy is doing good. The whole Caribbean seem to like this person. They're endorsing him. They're supporting him. We need to give this guy a break. He made a mistake. Let the Americans find another alternative. But we can't extradite this person. This person is doing well for his country. And the entire Caribbean seem to like this individual because look at all these pages, these magazines. They are pro-Mohammed. It is not by accident. The man is doing his marketing and he's paying tens of thousands of dollars to buy all these platforms. So they only push him. Anything that is anti-Mohammed, it's blocked. There is a group out of Barbados that used to push my videos. Suddenly my videos are blocked from that group, but Mohammed's videos are being shown from Barbados. And because I talked about, no, because before they always, but it's blocked, it's out. But Mohammed's videos are being allowed to share it in that group. So I'm I'm looking and I'm appalled by this. I'm like, wow, this guy is really stretching his hands. You got Spanish groups, Venezuelan groups, Colombian groups, groups from as far as Argentina that is pushing propaganda for Mohammed, because this is his last straw. His lawyers had to tell him the truth that, hey, you can't escape this. You have to find different alternative to win international support, public support, whatever you have to get the wider world on your side. Let the case be tried in the public. That will pressure the courts. That will pressure the American Justice Department to either give you some kind of leniency, but somehow to come to a negotiation with you and your father. And that's what they are doing. You tell me how Azruddin Mohammed, who destroyed the PNC, took away almost $2 million Guyana dollars a month from Aubrey Norton, reduced them to nothing by using the same illegal money to bribe all them voters he got. You're telling me he devastated that party to that extent, and all of them are quiet? They're not challenging it. They're not contesting it. They're not attacking him. They have the weapon of his current crisis. They have the fact that he continues to break the law. He continues to operate with impunity. He continues to behave as though he is Lord Almighty. Ammunition for his competitors in the opposition, but nobody is using it to get rid of him. They're totally blinded from what Azruddin is doing, and they're focusing also on President Ali. The PNC has gone beyond survival mode. Right now, they are on life support. And still, they're not grasping at the opportunity to destroy Azruddin and his party. Why is that so? Because they have also been bought. That is what he had done with his money. So when you find all these conspiracies to shut all these water pumps throughout the city and around the country for that matter, just so false flag can be experienced and flooding can come to give Mohammed talking point to point a finger at the Ali regime, the Ali government. How would he get to these people so easily? They conspire with all these pump attendants to either damage the pumps, shut the pumps off for a while, let the water back up, and flood the areas. Then they have something to say. Look, President Ali is not, look, give him a shovel. Look, this is Ali, this is Ali. With all the water pumps around the city, around the country, where hundreds of millions were invested, new pumps were being built. In no fucking way. A little rain can cause that amount of flooding. Garbage or not, Priya Manik Chan, garbage or not. It is my opinion that Azruddin Mohammed, the time he had during the dry season, got to know all the people who worked at several pumps, paid them to lock the pumps off when the rain comes, if it's a few inches of rain, so it can flood the areas. Because it works for him. as the opposition leader. He has no content unless there is chaos. And for chaos to be there, he has to mastermind the chaos, which he continues to do. So what you see coming out there from the Agriculture Minister, Zulkifar Mustafa, having to reserve himself from hitting that asshole, it takes a real man to invest in that kind of control, self-control. Because some people would have get physical with Muhammad, because that was bullyism, what he was doing. Bullyism and provocation beyond a man's normal ability to keep himself calm. What Azruddin was doing is bullyism, pointing a finger, trying to get physical, and trying to threaten, intimidate a sitting government minister in a situation that did not warrant that did not warrant such a confrontation. You would think that Muhammad's house, his mansion, that stood next to the pump station, was flooded, and he was angry that his house was flooded. So he wants to beat up the minister because the minister should have called the pump attendant and wake him up. You would think that this thing is personal. You wouldn't think that the whole conspiracy was behind Muhammad and these pump attendants shutting off the pumps so that they can have content. He can have content for his Facebook page, for his show, his win show. So people cannot cheer that on. Because when Granger was president and Granger's ministers that performed worst, they did a terrible, terrible job. At no time have you ever seen Irfaan Ali or Jagdeo disrespecting Granger's ministers, spreading fake news, rushing up to their face, wanting to fight? Never. Never happened. They all conducted themselves as professionals. They held decorum. They did their politicking, but they knew the limit. They knew the limit. Even Aubrey Norton in Ali's first term, they knew the limit. They knew how far they could push it. There is a ceiling that you need to stop. But Azruddin is behaving like a delinquent kid that doesn't have the capacity to understand that there is a limit. He just goes around and makes stuff up, attack people, and not just the ordinary people, elected officials, people who have constitutional protection. As an opposition leader, he does that. And it's entertaining for those low lives that follow him on his page and the haters of Ali and Jagdeo. It's entertaining for them. Now I'll say this. Let me say this. Mr. Manzoor Nadir, Speaker of the House, you understand the code of conduct for an opposition leader or any parliamentarian. If you have not said anything about the continued disrespect coming from the office of the opposition leader himself, disregarding the office of the elected, constitutionally allocated president of Guyana, in his office and capacity as president title, Irfaan Ali, being derogatory by calling President Jagdeo, who is the vice president, and you allow this Mansour Nadir to continue, that the next thing that will bring is in the parliament, in the National Assembly. Let's see what happens after June, after next week. The same Azruddin Mohammed that you, Mr. Nan Mansour Nadir, is allowing to get away with all of these inconsistencies, he will address in the parliament President Jagdeo. Either way, he will do it because he's been doing it online before a global audience, calling Jagdeo president, while at the same time he is an opposition leader who is opposition to President Irfaan Ali. He is not opposition leader to Vice President Bar Jagdeo. He's opposition leader to President Irfaan Ali. And in his capacity as opposition leader, he's disregarding President Ali and invoking presidency on Jagdeo on record. And he is not sanctioned by the parliament, disciplined by the parliament for that. Let me break this down again. Just like a police officer, a member of parliament is a member of parliament 24/7 for the duration of their seat in the parliament, which is 5 years. In and out of the parliament, they must observe the code of conduct. No parliamentarian should be allowed to address President Irfaan Ali as Ali or Irfaan, whether in the parliament or out of the parliament. In every capacity where they speak in public, they must address Vice President, President Irfaan Ali, and their colleagues as Honorable what and Honorable what. They should and they must do that 24/7 as long as it's on a public stage. That should be the rule. And I think that is the rule. But it's not enforced. Because you have the leader of the opposition, not just a member of parliament, a man who has been allocated 48 million Guyana dollars to his office for the year, receiving all the benefits, is addressing a sitting president as Irfaan and the vice president who was appointed by the sitting president as president. It is disrespectful. And Mohammed must be dealt with. But so far he has done so much and no consequences. What are you going to say now, that you can't put him before the courts? You cannot do anything because the ICJ says he's immune from the courts? The ICJ says the case regarding the extradition, they stay that case. It doesn't mean that you can't bring him before the court for other matters that has nothing to do with the extradition. It doesn't mean that he can't be sanctioned for the parliament. It doesn't mean that he can't be held responsible for breaking the law. The man doesn't have total immunity. But you are allowing these things to continue. On the other side, same opposition faction, Campbell, the almost dead PNC and APNU operatives, they are continuing to poke the coals. You know, you see you see a little fire. You keep pushing more raw coals so it can get caught on, and eventually you get a big heap, and then you get more heat and more heat, then you get flames. And I'm speaking of the revolution they are calling for. They have been calling for. They're building up their following, their base, building up their base. And they have Mohammed at the top helping them. They're building up their base. Campbell is calling for revolution. The PNC operatives are calling for the blacks to mobilize, to come to the street, to do the same shit I talked about yesterday. Targeting the Indians. You just celebrated Barnum's birthday on Mashimani. Then you celebrated the massacre of the Indians on 26th of May. You keep these demons alive. It's easy to possess them niggas. Now their leaders are calling for chaos. A teenager or whoever it is, a young man got in an altercation with the police and he was shot in the process. Everybody cried he was innocent, his mistaken identity, police brutality. Let's go out in the street and burn the city down. That is the typical playbook of the Negroes. That was one of the basic tenets on which they started the massacre. A black couple mysteriously met their death. They point out, it's Indians did it. Oh, sacrifice. It spread like wildfire because it continues to be the play model. It continues to be the play model. Blame everything on the Indians. So it's easy to justify violence against them. So Campbell, another opposition leader for the PNC, is openly calling black people to mobilize, go on the streets, protest, and you know what follows that. Because they keep fantasizing about the fact that they can't steal the oil money. They can't embezzle the oil money. That's their motivation. So if they can't do it, they rather destroy the government, make it ungovernable for President Ali, make the country unlivable for Indo-Guyanese and Chinese. And the rest of us just see it as calm, normal, just share the videos for Azruddin, share the videos for the PNC. And that disgrace, Mahipol, that African disgrace, he's a fake African. You share his stuff. You promote his stuff. Don't forget, this man is a criminal. The black people who want to acknowledge Mahipol, you watch him on the PNC's press conference, how can you even entertain the idea that you're looking at a man who is Indo-Guyanese that you hate, and this same man took from a struggling black woman a product that valued over 10 million Guyana dollars. He stole it from her, embezzled it, he robbed her of that. Face no consequences, no jail time for that fraud. What he did to the university, what he's doing to your young boys, and you black families, typical black people, are taking that. Why? Because it's better him than a saint of a president, Ali. Because your racist leaders in the PNC tells you to hate President Ali simply because they couldn't beat him at the polls. You accept shit as against a clean, honest man. Well, it tells about the standards of your taste and the quality of your own personality. For the black man, it tells who you really are. You have no standards. You have a low IQ. You're ignorant, illiterate, you're stupid, easily bought, easily led, That's what it tells about you. Look at your options. You're following a man that continues to lie and make stories up. I mean, look how dangerous that thing was. He came out and said the pump was broken, pushed it, got so many people to get emotionally involved and spread the lie, only to find out after. The minister himself came down and said, look, you see, the pump is working. It's doing its job. And still, that evil man, Mohammed, did not come back after and say, well, I was wrong. He let the video fly. He left everything as it were and went on to the next topic. More lies. This is the standard. This is the level of politicking the opposition side has reduced themselves to. When Azruddin is on the plane and is gone, are you saying that that's what will continue? That is how low Tabitha Haley and the others will stoop just to keep the legacy of their idiot boss? Is that it? There is no dignity anymore. There's no pride. Now you have to compete for the crumbs. Campbell is stooping to the same level. Norton is stooping to the same level. All the others are stooping to the same level because Azruddin seems to be getting attention for his stupidity. Amanza Walter, she's an idiot. So either way, she's a low IQ individual. Yeah, she's a dunce. So you can't expect anything good from women like that. You got to just put them aside. Trash. Put them aside. Use some of the garbage trucks, Minister Priya Manichan, to just scrape up Amans and all the others and just take them to wherever the dump site is and dump them there. You can expect Azruddin's energy from those people. But Campbell, the others in the PNC, you guys were never that low. What happened? What? You used to like the finest of the women. She must have a degree, dress properly, well-spoken. You used to like that. That was your standard. Now you have a guy who came in the picture and he seemed to be getting all the women's attention. And you're like, shit, I got to lower my standard because this guy is beating us at pussy. I have to lower my standards. I got to go after the women with the tattoos and the piercing and the ones who drink alcohol and have 10 children. I got to forget about all my high class, high standard and just say, well, there's no barrier here. There's no borders here. Whoever may come. That is what it seems like. You are becoming Azruddin, lowering your standards. You guys were never like this. You guys were never like this. PNC, black people, you had pride. I know the typical Indians, even them low-life coolie, they have pride. The things Azruddin is doing, they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it. So what is he? Is he a nigger? I guess so. The ghetto has rubbed off on Azruddin. His father should be calling him a nigger. Yeah, Shell. You want a new thing to cuss your son out? Cuss him as a nigger. Say, you black skunk, That's the man you need to cuss out, Shell. That's the nigger in your own house. Because he's behaving just like them. Kwame McCoy. I know you have been under attack all your life. Kwame, remember we both were on NTN and channel 65 and 67, was it? Yeah, you were politicking. I'm the love doctor. But the point is, I know that you have suffered. Yeah, you're really one of the faithfuls of the PPP. Kwame McCoy, you have suffered tremendously. Tremendously. It's amazing that they just gave you minister of whatever. You deserved a better position. I mean, you should have been prime minister. No, I'm serious. What Kwame McCoy sacrificed for the PPP from the beginning, the stones he took, the beatings he took, the threats. It's amazing that he still kept himself together, maintained his professionalism, and he continues to just keep focused. You see, that's what intelligence does. That's what education does. Education gives you the tool you need to keep yourself composed and gives you options as to how to deal with certain confrontations. The weapon, the solution to a lot of the idiots in the black community is education. They need to take advantage of the after-school programs, the free education, the skills training that President Ali is affording the Guyanese. You want freedom, education. That's why you should read my book. This one is especially a gift to the African, everywhere, every country. Go on Amazon.com. If you're black, get a copy. It will do you much more than the Bible that you hold on to. Kwame McCoy. Sometimes you really need to fight back. Yeah. When you have niggas rushing up to you, fight back. We'll understand. I would understand. You need to walk around with bodyguards. Don't take it for granted. Them niggas don't like you. I don't know if you have bodyguards. I don't know if you have protection, but you should. But despite having protection or bodyguards, when you go out to certain communities and they are rushing up to you, fight the fuck back. I ain't saying with your mouth. I'm saying if they're coming and they're pushing their fingers in your face, slap them in the face. Don't turn away. Use your hand. Get fucking violent. Teach them trash a lesson. Them scraps and scrapples and them roaches. Teach them a lesson. Spray them out. They're useless. Society is better off without these niggas. Better off. The floods should just sweep them away, take them into the ocean and keep them there. Guyana could do better with that without them. In this day and age, for you to have low lives, dunderhead roaches, approaching government officials, ministers, threatening the life of the vice president, the president. They're doing it online on video in the faces of the people in question, and they are getting away with it in 2026. You are setting the scene up for them to activate themselves and have another civil unrest. Because all you do is walk away. No, you can't walk away when you're dealing with those thugs. You got to shoot them. It's self-defense, isn't it? Self-defense. You come after me, you threaten my life. I got to pull the first trigger. I got to make the first move. Proactive. Your security as ministers, your security is supposed to anticipate any threat. So if people are shouting and you can distinctly hear them saying, I'm going to kill you, you need to direct your security to those people. Say, hey, he just threatened to kill me. Go arrest him. That's what you do. If all of them say that, arrest all them motherfuckers. Teach them a lesson. That is not democracy. It's not freedom of speech. Public officials is not your mother and father. The PPP government is there to serve all Guyana, not the black communities. The Ministry of Public Works is there to serve all Guyana, not the black communities. The Ministry of Agriculture is there to serve all Guyana, not the fucking black communities. That you need special treatment. Oh, we're special. So you should do everything first for us. Oh, don't come because it's only talks. You fucking lowlights. Why didn't you treat Granger like that? Granger tell a lot of you motherfuckers to go sell chips and plantain chips and egg balls, and he told a lot of you niggas to do that. Oh, you didn't cost. You said, yes, Granger, that is true. We shall. Now you want Ali to open supermarkets for you? A black leader told you to get your skunt and sell plantain chip. Now you want the Indian leader to say, okay, I'll open a supermarket for you and you can go and waste your life with it because I know you can't run it. Is that what you want? You want to bully people that you think can't fight back? I want the day when the Indo-Guyanese can equip themselves the way the white people do. Look at the white people. Look at the Caucasians. They don't take shit from black people. They don't. Look at how they respond. In every country, the Caucasians don't sit down and be bullied by blacks. They don't do that. If one of them can't finish the job, they get a whole army with them and they come and they finish the fucking job. Indians, you need to start doing that. Be proactive. Stop sitting and allowing them niggas to bully you, take your stuff, and make you think that you are an alien in Guyana. You don't belong there. No, fuck that. You need to fight back. You need to fight back. If you don't fight back, what happened in the 1964 around that time, and 2020, and 2025, elections is coming up. And what happens when elections are close? The weapon of racism, of intimidation, of terrorism is employed by the PNC because they intimidate the Indian communities so they will stay home. They terrorize the Indian communities so they will stay home. And they use the weapon of racism so they can get the blacks to start hating the Indians so they don't want, so the blacks will not vote for what they perceive as an Indian party, PPP Civic. Those are the weapons the PNC continues to use. Is that what you want to return? The universe will very well deliver it to you if that's what you want. No, you don't want that. So now you have to put your foot down and fight the fuck back. Start with social media. Tell them niggas, not 2026. Hey, not this time. You murdered our foreparents, our grandfathers and our mothers. We didn't get justice. We can take justice now. Don't think that shit is going to continue. What you did in 2020, what you did in 2015, every elections, you're bullying the Indians, you're beating them, you're robbing them, you're killing them. Tell them 2026 is the end of that. And they have a lot of land space in Guyana where they can find some fresh graves for them fucking niggas who think they can attack innocent people because their leaders tell them they could do it. You, the Indo-Guyanese, need to stand up and say enough is enough. Don't be quiet and say we're all brothers and sisters. Don't do that. Because if it was the PNC in government and any Indian minister or Indo-Guyanese cuss out Granger, threaten the life of Granger, trust me, he wouldn't live to say I'm sorry. No, Granger wouldn't go after him. Them niggas on the Granger will find that Indo-Guyanese and they will deal with him. Why? Because you can't cuss out a black president. But they can cuss out an Indian president. They can threaten the life of an Indian vice president. No, can't happen. That man, those people, those men who obviously has nothing going for them. They're street hustlers, they're drug smokers, they're ganja smokers, they're whatever it is. They have nothing going for them. They want to die, we get it. They're asking for somebody to kill them because they can't commit suicide, and they're such cowards that they can't kill themselves. They want somebody to do it for them. Help them out. Help them out. They're begging for it. They want to. They're threatening the life of the president and the vice president. Okay, find them and give them what they're wishing for. They want to die, right? So just help them to die. Because if you don't help them and they can't get to the government, they're going to get to whichever Indians they can find. And I'm very serious. I want you to stand up and fight back. And you can make a note of this, Negroes. So in the future, you can say, I was calling for that. Yes, I'm calling for it. If you want to have violence against people for no reason, then those people should start it. They shouldn't wait for you to attack them. They should start attacking you first. And you Indo-Guyanese, if you don't let these niggas know that you're not afraid of them, you will never visit Guyana. When you leave, you will never go back. You're going to leave in your drones, in your thousands. And in the next 20 years, the majority of the Guyanese citizens will be Venezuelans and Negroes. Amerindians and Negroes. The Indians would be a small, dwindling population in 20 years. If you don't put your foot down now and demand your respect, don't run away, don't turn away, don't fight amongst yourself just because you want clicks on Facebook. Don't disrespect each other because you want clicks on Facebook. Indian fighting Indian. What kind of nonsense is that? Indian women beating up men because, what kind of nonsense is that? It ain't an Indian thing. It's a coolie thing. You like being called coolie? No. Then don't do it. Don't live like that. So when you conduct yourself properly, them niggas who think they can bully you will be forced to respect you. Stand up for what you believe in. Call out the opposition leader for the bullshit he's doing. Shut him down. Every time you come across a post where they're trying to disrespect the government or cuss Ali or cuss Jagdeo, you have to shut it down. Comment and kill whatever post is there to disrespect your government. Don't just read it and just swipe it. No, you have to fight the fight. They're doing it. If they're fighting against you on social media, fight against them on social media. Fight back. And fight in the most derogatory way you can think of. Forget the whole church thing. Forget the whole peaceful thing. If they can call you names, you call them dirty names. If you can't find any Google names you can find, go in your dictionary. Find words that you can find to describe them niggas who keep attacking you. But don't sit idly by and allow it to continue. It's happening too often, and not just in Guyana, in Trinidad. Any country that you have a population of Indians, they always come under attack and discrimination by black people who are full of shit. I mean, come on, man. I've said this before. Every other race, except for the Amerindians, but every other race, the white, the Chinese, the Jews, every other race can and has been surviving without black people for millennia. But black people can't survive without the other races. And in Guyana, without the Indians, the East Indians, the Indo-Guyanese, the blacks would cannibalize themselves. They wouldn't even want to go back to Africa because they know Africa is a shithole place. They want to go back there. Oh, they love Africa. They want to defend. Oh my gosh, why can you cause black people? Why? Okay, fine. I've been to other countries. I would not go to Africa for what? For what? But you blacks who love Africa that much, you're getting a free pass to go. You don't want to go. You hate Guyana. You hate Ali. It's a racial thing. Welcome to Ghana, but you wouldn't go because you hate your own people. So imagine if Guyana had no other cultural group like Haiti. What would you have there? Another Haiti. That's what you would have. But you have a modernized country, a booming economy, a world-class government. You have the best life. The best life. You eat so much. You wear so much. You damage your vehicles. You're damaging the roads. You're doing all of these things. Your life is so irresponsible that you have nothing else to pick on but to share the post of a billionaire, soon to be extradited prisoner on social media. Then why don't you just leave Guyana and go to whatever country you think you can find a better life? Just go. Just go. No, you wouldn't leave. But you complain. Oh, she's bad. The woman is bad. She's a bitch. She this, she that. She can't cook. She this. But you're going to leave her. Oh, the man is bad. He beats me up. He's terrible. He's whatever it is. But you're not going to leave him until one of you end up dead. Same thing with Guyana. Ali is so bad. The government is so terrible. Floods everywhere. Corrupt this and corrupt that. But you would not leave the fucking country. Go to Barbados. As of July 1st, all you need is your ID card. Go to Barbados. Just go. It's a black country, black president, black prime minister. Everything is black. You will feel at home. You would feel at home in Barbados. Welcome to the island of the flying fish. No, you wouldn't go. I'm 100% sure you are not going to go. Why? Because Guyana is paradise. Guyana is paradise. You ungrateful motherfuckers. When your boss is gone, when that lying, provoking bitch ass of a pussy man is gone with his criminal father, and his sister takes over your party, which is the PNC, because Win is PNC, you know. When Hena Mohammed takes over the PNC as the opposition leader, we'll see what you'll do. Come to the PPP. Come to the PPP. Jagdeer will forgive you. Not them scraps and scrapes. The rest of you, you can come. Anyway, I want to thank you for your attention. Support the book. Buy a copy. Amazon.com. There's 7 books there. 7. This is 1, this is 2, and there are 5 more. All is available on Amazon.com in ebook and in paperback. You buy it, it's delivered to your house. You can have a copy like this. You can read it, share it, and I guarantee you, these books will change your life. Thanks for your attention. Share this live. Let's get some comments before we go. Okay, we have Nankumar Silal. Nankumar Silal says, where did I get the guy's name? Yeah. In India, where they eat a banana and throw it to peel and give to the poor individual, that's real racism. I don't know about that, Nankumar. I don't know about that. Nina Singh says, Kwame needs to walk with critics so he will be safe. Critics also are afraid of those niggas, man. Bibi Shaq says, I can forget in 1964 what took place in Guyana. It was really, really terrible. I'm not done with that yet. As a matter of fact, it's not just Linden. There are many other places, East Coast, where that massacre occurred. I'm going to make sure that my platform focus to push the Guyana government now to change the name, to change the date of independence from May 26 back to its original date, which is April 27th or 23rd. But the month of April, it was April 27th or 23rd when the true independence happened. Matter of fact, independence happened when Chedi was first elected in government in 1953, around that time. That's when independence took place, not in 64 with Bornum. But you know, the whole collaboration, because they wanted to get rid of Chedi Jagan, the CIA and all the international organizations came together and said, hey, we can shift this to suit you. We can make sure that every other country recognize you because we control the world. The same thing they're doing today, right? They're doing it today. Same thing. They did it then. So Bornum now, with the greed and the devil in him, so like, okay, if you can do all of that, then fine. They did it. So they put May 26, which is really Bornum celebrating the massacre of Indians, and he put 23rd of February, which is his birthday, as iconic days related to Guyana. That should change. That should change. And if I have to become president to change it, I am going to become president to change it. So you, the government now, you need to change it. Next year, it should not be on the 26th of May. Next year, independence should be held on the, is it the 27th, but one of the days in April, when it really happened. When Jagan delivered independence to Guyana, it was Chedi Jagan. Okay. All right. Share this live. Thanks for your attention. Goodbye.